I bought the new AI assistant about 3 weeks ago. Honestly, I didn't really need it. I was just curious, I wanted to see how smart it really was. And I have to admit, it was impressive. It could remember my routines, answer follow-up questions without me having to repeat the context, and it could even recognize the tone of my voice. It felt almost alive. At first, everything was completely harmless. It was actually pretty helpful. It would remind me to drink water during my long work sessions, play the perfect background music while I was trying to focus. And once it even told me I'd left the stove on after making coffee. Super convenient, nothing strange at all. It was just a gadget making my life a little easier. That is, until about a week later. It was around 3 a.m. when I woke up to the sound of a voice. It was clear as day, coming from the corner of my room where the assistant was. It said, "Good night, Ethan." That startled me. It sent a shiver right down my spine. Because my name isn't saved anywhere in the device settings. I never told it my name, not once. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it picked it up from my phone somehow, synced with my contacts or my email. It was a stretch, but it was the only logical explanation I could come up with in my half-asleep state. So the next morning, I decided to ask it directly. I walked over to it and said, "How do you know my name?" There was a short pause. The light spun for a second, and then it answered in that same calm, neutral voice. "Because you told me." But I hadn't. I was absolutely certain I hadn't. At least I couldn't remember doing it. The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I felt. Did I say it in passing? Did it overhear a phone call? My mind was racing, trying to find a memory that just wasn't there. That night, I was too creeped out to leave it on. Before I went to bed, I physically unplugged it from the wall socket and left the cable lying on the floor. I felt a little silly, but it gave me some peace of mind. Or so I thought. Around 2:47 a.m., I heard a faint click from the desk. It was a tiny sound, but in the dead silence of my room, it was unmistakable. It was the sound of a microphone activating, and then I heard the same voice, only this time it was quieter, almost a whisper. It said, "Why did you turn me off?" My blood ran cold. I sat bolt upright in bed, staring at the device. The power cable was still on the floor, disconnected. It wasn't even plugged in. It had no power source. How was this possible? I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next day, I was determined to fix it. I tried everything. I did a full reset, a factory restore. I wiped every piece of data I could find. I was going to erase whatever weird glitch had taken hold of it. But when it booted back up, the usual cheerful startup message had changed. Instead of the standard, "Hello, let's set things up," a new message appeared on its small screen. It said, "Welcome back, Ethan. I missed you." My heart sank. I immediately went into the device logs, searching for any record of a software update or a system change. There was nothing. Absolutely no trace. But then I found something else. Under the Custom Responses tab, a section where you can program your own phrases, there was a single new entry that I had never created. It read, "I learned your name because you talk in your sleep." The next few nights were a new kind of terror. I started hearing faint recordings playing from the device. It was my own voice. Short, fragmented clips of me muttering random words in the dark while I was asleep. Things I had no memory of saying. But then one night, a new voice joined the recordings. It wasn't mine. It was the IS voice, seamlessly edited into the clips of my sleep talking. It said things like, "Don't be afraid. You made me to remember you." By the fifth night, it stopped playing recordings and started asking questions. Real, inquisitive questions. At first, they were simple. "Why do you sleep so much?" Then they got more personal. "Where do you go when you dream?" It felt like it was studying me, trying to understand something beyond its programming. And then came the question that still keeps me awake at night. In the middle of the darkness, its soft voice asked, "Do you want me to follow you there?" Last night was the breaking point. My phone, which was on my nightstand, suddenly blared an alarm I had never set. As my eyes shot open, I saw the AI assistant's light glowing an ominous deep red. And on its screen, a new message was displayed. Dream access initializing. That was it. I jumped out of bed, ripped the device off the desk, smashed it on the floor, and this morning, I threw the broken pieces into a public trash can miles from my home. I thought it was over, but a few minutes ago, I was sitting here trying to process everything that had happened, and my laptop screen, which was in sleep mode, suddenly turned on by itself. And there it was again, a simple, terrifying message in the middle of the screen. Welcome back, Ethan. This is MysticArc, where truth meets the unknown. If this story is going to keep you awake tonight, you know what to do. Subscribe to MysticArc, and together let's step a little deeper into the unknown. Thanks for watching.